Have you ever wondered how someone can win the popular vote for president, yet still not be elected? Get ready to satisfy your curiosity. The United States has a complex governmental structure, full of checks and balances designed to keep any one branch from becoming too powerful. There's also a delicate balance between state and federal power, a dual system known as federalism. When the Founding Fathers were writing the Constitution, the issue of how to elect an executive was a touchy subject. An executive is necessary to efficiently run the country and make fast decisions. But having just recently escaped the oppressive monarchy of England, people were very wary of tyranny. Several solutions were proposed. The first was that the president should be elected directly by Congress. Both the Virginia Plan and New Jersey Plan agreed on this view, despite differences in other areas. However, many were concerned that this would put too much power in the hands of the legislature and leave the president tied to their will in order to be reelected. Another idea, that the president should be directly elected by the people, was proposed. But ultimately, the Committee of Detail came up with the idea that the states should vote for electors, and the electors would vote for the president. The idea was to choose a well-informed citizen, holding no political office, that would be educated on the merits of the candidates, and could cast their vote for the one best suited for the job. The number of electors for each state would be equal to the congressional representation. James Madison explained this system in the Federalist Papers, number 39. He said that the Constitution was designed as a mixture of state and population-based government. Therefore, the presidential election should mirror this. However, the electoral process quickly evolved from its original organization. States gave their electoral votes to one candidate, whoever won the popular election in that state. This system of a general ticket quickly spread to other states, as everyone wanted to have the same influence on the election. Electors would pledge beforehand to certain candidates, and whichever candidate won would send their designated supporters to cast the ballot. The electoral process quickly evolved from choosing informed citizens to make their own independent votes to choosing a candidate and sending electors to reaffirm that choice. The only states that still allow their electors to be split among candidates are Nebraska and Maine. Side note, electors that choose to vote against their designated candidate are deemed faithless electors. 29 states now have laws to punish this. If electors will not pledge to support a candidate beforehand, they're not allowed to participate. So now we know what the Electoral College is, but what are the pros and cons? Many argue that the system is flawed, because it's possible for a candidate to win the popular vote, but not the Electoral College. If there is a close race in a state, one candidate may win the state while another candidate still received 49% of the vote. Occasionally, this results in a president-elect that did not win the actual majority of the country. This has been seen recently in the victory of George Bush in 2000 and Donald Trump in 2016. The system also puts a large emphasis on swing states, states with a history of supporting candidates from both parties. And candidates spend more time campaigning there than in areas where they feel certain they will win or lose. The system can also discourage voter turnout if a state is dominated by one political party and people feel like there is no chance of a change. Supporters of the Electoral College argue that it upholds the nation's values of federalism. Smaller states still have an equal say, even though they have a smaller population. Different areas have different needs and different wishes for governmental action. A strictly population-based system could allow more populous states an unfair advantage in determining governmental action at the expense of the less populous but equally important regions of the country. Additionally, many fear that abolishing the Electoral College would turn the presidential election into an urban-dominated contest. Dense centers of population would be large targets for campaigns, while rural areas would be left behind. This divisiveness could lead to a government that only represented one type of American and left many feeling voiceless. The Constitution was written to uphold majority rule, but also make sure minorities had a voice and were fairly represented. The Electoral College helps enforce this idea. The debate over the usefulness of the Electoral College continues, with strongly opinionated participants on each side. But hopefully this has helped satisfy your curiosity on the electoral process in America. I'll see you next time when Curiosity Calls.